Hey, this is KG Sports, and you're watching Hot Facts with Robert Reese.
Hot Facts. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and add you on my other phone. Hot Facts.
With Robert Reese.
Facts with Robert Reese. Damn, you pull right on up. You know what I think I seen. Alright, here you go. Y'all go ahead and go subscribe to Hot Facts with Robert Reese. He dropping some knowledge. Just subscribe. Let me hit that notification bell. I can't tell everybody to do that, and I don't do it.
Hi, you are watching Hot Facts with Robert Reese.
Guys like entertaining channels, and I don't try to promote drama. Some people will look at it drama. Some people will just look at it as the facts and reality. And a lot of what drama is, it is reality with certain people and how they present it. But go check out Hot Facts with Robert Reese. He has a really entertaining channel. Is very professional at what he does. You'll get a lot of good info and a lot of good laughs out of it to really make you see in the world how some people hide behind a computer screen, want to talk trash about others with complete false realities. But he is the type of guy that will bring reality and truth to his live streams, and he shuts a lot of people down. I mean, he shuts them down quick.
When a person doesn't like you, they team up with another person that doesn't like you. And before you know it, there's a whole slew of people that hate you. But here's the thing. Those people, they don't even like each other. They're only gathered because of you. See how powerful you are?
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate? You should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you?
It absolutely doesn't. Facts do not give a shit about feelings.
Now,
Feelings are
since we're on,
feelings.
if we're going to go to the topic of Robert Reese and JB Gunner on that show together, I will honestly say, while I think both of them are shitbag racists against, ironically enough, the same people, they're both racist against the same people.
Right.
I think that two people sitting on a conversation or having a conversation is a grand idea, because without conversation, you have no communication and no dialogue, no open-mindedness. I'm not saying they're going to change each other's mind. That if a Klans member and a Black Panther sat on a panel together, they're not going to change each other's minds.
Right.
But at least they're not out killing each other. They're trying to have civil conversation about their beliefs, or at least they're trying to understand the other side's reason.
I absolutely agree. And that, I am not a supporter of Robert, right? But I'm smart enough to know when somebody had a pretty brilliant idea.
Mm-hmm.
And him bringing an admitted felon, or an admitted racist up on his panel, and they talked civilly and respectfully to each other for an hour, and I don't care if you don't like what I'm fixing to say, anybody, it was fucking brilliant. It was
a good
brilliant.
idea. Yeah, it was a great idea. And I think if more Americans would have that conversation, it would probably help. Although, I'm going to be honest, I wish we'd stop having all those
I watched the video, okay? Watched the video, and you know, I got to ask you this question right here. Are you racist? Why am I Tyrone? And does that mean nigger? Because you were up there saying you hang with Tyrone. Wait. You hang with Tyrones, and that's an issue. And all that pro-black stuff, I will go ahead and put that on blast and bury people. I'm pro-black. It is what I do. I'm involved with everybody else out there. I'm a Tyrone. I'm a nigger. I am that. So I got to ask you, what's up with that? And are you racist?
I am racist 100%, just like all people should be. You're pro-black. I'm pro-white. You're a Tyrone because you're black, and to me, you seem like an urban black, so that does make you a Tyrone. Are you the N-word to me? Absolutely. Can I still interact with you just on straight level? Yes.
Okay, just on straight level there. Well, let me tell you this. I've been wanting to actually interview a racist for a long time, and it's been known on my channel that that's what I've been looking for. As long as you stand on your ground and we can be grown men and talk, it's all good with me. I'm not racist at all, so I ain't gonna call you all the names that you want to call me, but you want to call me nigger?
I didn't want to call you that, or I would have called you that. That's not what it's not like I look at every black dude and the first thing that pops in my head is the N-word. That's not the way it rolls with me. That's not the way it happens at all. I do call majority, but you gotta remember, I'm from the south side of Chicago. I know what an urban Tyrone in comparison to a more conservative black man actually looks like. So I want you to understand, that's when I say Tyrone, I mean urban black. And
okay, so in comparison, it would be like, well, in comparison, it'll be like if a black person saw somebody that's white, let's say Hatfield and McCoy, and they called them poor white trash, and then they see somebody else and they'll say another name for them.
Absolutely.
Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
All right.
It's the same thing. But when it comes to you, I have no opinion on you yet. Obviously you're black. When it comes to that white woman, I do have issues with fat white women dealing with black dudes. I think it's funny, but at the end of the day, that's not what I actually came here. But I am telling you, you asked the question. You asked, it's on your screen right now, and I don't duck no questions. So you got your answer, brother.
All right. So.
Black people can't have Down syndrome?
Why?
Because God doesn't punish people twice.
I have a good one. 2 Mexicans are in a car. Who is driving?
Who?
The cop. Guys, this dark humor is too extreme. We should stop.
Dark humor's like food. Not everyone gets it.
Anyway, Donnie, what barbershop do you go to?
Why are you asking?
To know which one to avoid.
You know what? You are really bold for someone of your color. You know what the difference between snow tires and a black person is?
What is the difference?
The tires still work after you take the chains off.
You say that all whites are racist. Can you expound on that, please?
Any white person who was born, raised, and schooled in the United States of America, if you aren't a racist, you're a miracle. Either that or you decided to educate yourself. Because education in this country is about white is right, brown's all right, black's got to stand back. Yellow's mellow, but whites, we educate in a way that says that white males have done all the adventures, have done all the discovering, have made everything that is good and has been accomplished according to social studies, which is actually anti-social studies, by white males. It's a lie. But we do that in order to maintain the myth of white superiority. The myth of race has to be maintained at all costs in this country. Because if white people have to give up the color of their skin as being something that makes them perfect, what do they have left? If we start teaching the truth about history, if we start teaching about Nile Valley contributions to civilization, it will totally change the way we conduct ourselves in the classroom. It will have to. Columbus didn't discover America. You can't discover a place where people are already living. But we celebrate that every October. It's a lie. We need to stop telling the myths and start telling the truth.
So when you tell people that they're racist, and it must have some kind of effect, because most people will say, I'm not racist.
I'm not a racist. Why, some of my best friends are black.
Right.
Yeah, and then you say, name one. Or this one, I don't see color. And when some woman says to me, I don't see color, I say, I knew that if you saw color, you wouldn't dye your hair that way. Or I say, if you saw color, you wouldn't wear that shirt with those pants. I believe that you don't see color. It's an attempt to deny skin color. And it's an attempt to deny what's wrong with seeing the color of my skin. Is it all right for you to see me kind of pink? That's okay for me. I don't mind. And I suspect that you don't mind being seen the color you are. You have a right to be what you are. And until people in this country and people in this world get it into their heads that the first modern human beings that evolved on this earth were black women. They evolved in sub-Saharan Africa about 280,000 years ago, and every human being on the face of the earth today has the memory of those black women's genetic structure in their genes. Now, we don't want to admit that, but that's the way it is. And as people moved farther and farther from the equator, their bodies produced less and less melanin, so their hair, their skin, and their eyes got lighter. As they moved into the east, they ate a lot of fish and a lot of vegetables, so their skin took on a different tone. I found that out when I was raising little kids. My husband worked in a supermarket. He was the head of the produce department, and they had lots of oranges that they couldn't sell. He'd bring them home, and I was feeding my kids orange juice like you never saw in your life. They began to have an orange cast to their skin. I thought they had a liver problem. So I took him to the doctor, and she said, "What are you feeding these kids?" I said, "Well, lots of orange juice." She said, "Stop it if you want them to stop being orange." Now, if you think that skin color isn't anything other than the body's natural reaction to the natural environment, get over it.
So,
natural reaction to the natural environment, get over it.
So, if all white people are racist, according to you, can they be reprogrammed?
Well, of course they can. Of course they can. Of course they can be. It's called education. I'm an educator. The word educator comes from the root duck deuce, which means lead, the prefix e, which means out, the suffix ate, which means the act of, and the suffix or, which means one who does. An educator is one who is engaged in the act of leading people out of ignorance. Now, I know you can change them.
Clue. Take a guess. Some fella in sunglasses.
Am I your favorite black guy you ever met?
No.
Is there any African American in this world that you like more than a white person?
Depends on both.
Me or this white rock right here? Be honest. Don't lie to me.
The rock, it serves a purpose. There's a lot of those little white rocks we got a road.
I mean, I think we're best friends.
No, hell no.
Would you consider yourself racist? Before you answer that, there was so much comments that said, he's not racist, he just likes things his way.
Oh yeah, I saw them. Depends on how you define racist, and it redefines itself every minute.
Are you in the KKK?
I'm not a traditional Klansman.
Are you associated?
Oh yeah.
Zink or Harrison more racist?
Huh. I'm in Zinc, so maybe Zinc. I've been portrayed as the ultimate racist.
Really?
Few people.
Hootie is the guy who does YouTube?
Yeah, most of them that come through are black.
Are you racist? Do they portray you as like hating black people or something?
I don't care one way or the other how I'm portrayed, because most people come with an agenda.
You think it's odd they slave you if the slave master ain't served the same God they gave you 400 years later and you hardly stable and you turn around and beg that same God to save you? Look, word to the sunrise. Homie, save yourself. Everything else, get a thumb drive. The young lives of black queens lost, misplaced, who've been raped, beaten, indoctrinated, and disgraced. We've been wet, shackled, and mutilated, put through degradation, disrespectfully viewed and hated. I mean, truly flagrant, treated like shit in this fucking nation. Then in 1850, slaveholders came with this publication called How to Make the Ideal Slave. Now dig the vision. Rule number 1 was unconditional submission. Keep them in place with authority, because rule number 2 was create inferiority.
If you would like to know how
I like you, other than the fact you hang out with Tyrones and shit. But I want you to understand that someday you're going to be in the target of all these people. Probably including me for the Tyrone shit. I'm eventually going to go after your co-host. You know that, right? You understand that, right? Because the more I hear pro-black bullshit, I'm going to run. Trust me, I'm going to come at them way before I'm going to come at Kakila. I don't think you understand that the group that you're in, the JVs, the Jamies, the Red Pool Jacks, I don't think you understand how savage we can be.
Still to this day carry their previous slave owners.
Don't say black American, say American African.
American African.
Yes, sir.
You do know that a lot of African Americans don't like that term.
Well, they use African American. We're comfortable with African American.
Yeah.
But I prefer American African.
Okay.
Because we are not Americans, never have been, have never been treated as such.
Yeah.
And the adjective precedes the noun. So when you say African American, you're describing a type of an American.
Okay.
We're not Americans. When you say American African, you're describing a type of an African. So that's why we say American African. American simply describes the African.
I think there are many whites who act friendly toward Negroes. A fox acts friendly toward the lamb. And usually the fox is the one who ends up with the lamb chop on his plate. The wolf doesn't act friendly, and therefore the wolf has more difficulty in getting the lamb chop in his plate.
I'd like to point out, though, that...
And I say that because it is usually if you study the structure of the Negro community, economically, politically, civically, psychologically, and otherwise, it's controlled by the white liberal, who usually poses as the friend of the Negro, who actually differs from the white conservative in the same way that the fox differs from the wolf. Their appetite is the same. Their motives are the same. It's only their mannerisms and methods that differ.
I would agree that no doubt there have been a large number.
All right, now, folks. Now, thank you, JB Gunner, for being on. People, excuse me. I wanted you guys to get your mind right. I want you guys to see the different aspects of black and white. There's many there. There was prison life. There was regular life. There was different people saying different things out there. So all that stuff was there. So I wanted you guys to get your mind right. So before we do this, I'm going to give a disclaimer, okay, and a warning. There will be language, verbiage that some people may not agree with, that some people may not like. The verbiage and the language that we will be putting out there is not to create hate. It is not to create violence, but it is the truth in the matter about how some people speak and how some people feel. Here on Hot Facts with Robert Reese, this is a freedom of speech channel, okay? Your rights that you have are protected here. We will not tolerate people in the chat saying things like, we're going to go kill niggers and things like that. That stuff will not be tolerated. I have a Nightbot there that's set on up, so please type correctly, or Jeffrey will go ahead and do work. That's just what he does. So be fair warned that this will probably be the most realist conversation that you guys have ever had to get a chance to listen to. I also want to state this before we start. So people, I don't want to hear questions about Dennis Jerome James. I don't want to hear no questions about this guy. And let me just get this out of the way now. There's controversy over he wrote me on Instagram, but I got it in my business suite box. And I was already in my pre-show lobby with JB Gunner. And what happened was, give me one quick sec. What happened was Dennis Jerome James was upset about a situation. He was upset that I did not go and defend and back him up about his issue with JB Gunner. JB Gunner was speaking about all black people, not just him. So if he has an issue with JB Gunner, he could have handled it like a man and did what I did. This is what I'm doing. Talk to him like a man, to talk like this. It has nothing to do with Dennis. Okay. Now, the thing with Dennis, people said, why did you put that up? I waited a whole day after the live was over because Dennis was saying it's going to suck, it's going to fail. All these things that were going to happen never happened, and it was actually a success. So after it being a success, and I saw how he threw his own friends under the bus from growing up with and putting all their business out all over YouTube, I said there was no way that man is going to try to tell me not to say anything when that's all he does. It turned out to be successful and it worked. And so therefore, I felt there was no harm in it because there was nothing there. JB Gunner is here. So everything he said was a false reality and a false statement. So I put it up there. And that's exactly what you got. There was nothing wrong with it. But to have another black man tell another black man, don't do it. Well, I'm going to give you a heads up, but I'm not going to say nothing. That's that kind of Uncle Tom ass shit that a lot of black people don't like. Now, I'm going to give you the opportunity, just like JB Gunner said, if you want to click the link to bring some stats. But if not, that's not going down. I don't want to hear nothing else about Dennis Jerome James. And because he did do that, people, I have a caveat that I'm throwing up here. One other black person can click the link because you may not feel how I feel. One other white person can click the link and be up here because you may not feel the way JB Gunner feels. If there are two openly people who are not afraid to speak their mind and go over these topics that we will discuss, you are able to click the link. I only need one more black person, one more white person, or someone that's Mexican or Hispanic to click the link, and you guys can be up here as 1, 2, 3, 4, and we will be going over the topics. Okay, JB Gunner is in the house. Thank you very much, sir. Introduce yourself for the people that don't know before I let everyone know what the topics are.
Hey, what's up? How you doing, Robert?
Doing all right.
All right. For you guys that don't know, I'm JB Gunner. I've been on YouTube for now 18 years. The 18th year right now. I discuss various topics, politics, news, definitely culture and race. But I pretty much have my hand in every cookie jar, from gaming to wrestling. You know what I mean? I do everything, bro.
Yes, sir. And you said wrestling too. Grew up. I saw Bret Hart on the screen back there, and I was like, oh yeah. See, people, there's a lot going on that can make these things happen for us to be able to get this dialogue in. And I'm gonna be all the way honest. If anyone is in the chat trying to speak about prison politics, I'm not going over no prison politics on camera and exposing anything. That's not gonna happen. So y'all get that out the way. But what I will tell you is this: that I wish it was mandatory that people do go to jail so you can learn some respect for other races. And for example, if me and him were on the inside, I would not be talking to him. He would not be talking to me unless we're a rep and we got to go ahead and talk to each other to handle something, fix this, fix that. Someone got to get a phone off, something else like that. Or we're on a program to where we're scaring kids straight and we ain't going to fuck up our time and we go do that. That's like the only way. So, but because of that, people, the prison politics still allows us to go ahead and get down. Outside of that, no prison politic questions on here. I don't want random people to get in trouble. I hope y'all understand. All right. So this show, we're going to be going over some topics and things that I pulled out. The first one I'm going to list them all down and then we're going to start. The first one is going to be, do whites behave better than all other races in America? Now that's going to be, when I mean behave, I don't mean like crime. I mean like out in public, common courtesy, things like that, things like that. The next one's going to be, the black unemployment rate is consistently twice that of white workers. Why? We're going to get into that. Okay. We're also going to get into this right here. White Americans have far more wealth than black Americans and Hispanics. Is this true? We're going to be going over also, black women are 6 times likely to be killed more than white women, but 20 times more in Wisconsin. How the hell is that? We're gonna get into that. Okay. We also got this next one right here. We're gonna go ahead and get into. Even though blacks and Hispanics have more violent incidents with their own race, are whites still the most violent race in America? We're gonna get into that. Okay. This one's gonna be a good one here. Why is America not helping its own citizens with
starting a business. We'll go ahead and get into that because that's going to break into race. And then the very last one, well, not the last one, we're going to get into how important it is. How important is it the Black and Hispanic vote for a racist political candidate? And I mean like a David Duke, or we can flip it like when Al Sharpton to run. They weren't going to win, but they just tried to do some shit. That's what that's going to be going into. And the last one is we're gonna have some fun with this one because that's what we can do, people. We're gonna figure out is JB Gunner betting on Black when Tyson fights Jake Paul. We're gonna get into that as the very last one. we're gonna get into that one on the very, 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 very last one. But let's go ahead and start this off here. Now, like I said, if there is someone that is white who wants to click the link and someone that's Black, I'm only going to allow 1 and 1. But if someone says I only want to go on here for this, you can. But you are under the same rules as both JB Gunner and I. So just understand that. You are not, we ain't doing no Eli and you were above the earth. We ain't doing that shit here. All right? We ain't doing that here. So first one, okay? We got it here. Let me get this here. Let me get this here. Let me put it back up here. Let me see. Do whites behave better than other races in America? And I'm talking about in public. Now, JB Gunner, I'm pretty sure you've been in the door and you were like, look at that badass Tyrone right there. I know you've seen that shit. I know you have. I didn't see that with the white kids. Oh, people, and by the way, if you want to say something about Black or white, and you want to use the N-word, you can use the N-word. Just say Tyrone. If you want to use a racial white word for a white person, and it's a guy, just call him Peter or Jimbo, or say Becky or Susan. Tyrones or Bentleys is what you can call the Black if you want to type it in the chat so you don't get kicked out. I'm trying to help y'all out. Okay? I'm trying to help y'all out. So, when you see this stuff, and I've seen the Hispanics and the Samoan kids and everything, do you think that you whites had a better upbringing and you guys behave better in just the natural public in America?
Than all races? No, I think Asians are actually the most well-behaved, personally. But I definitely believe whites are better behaved in public in general than Mexicans, Blacks, or I don't know. I've never hung out with Native Americans, so I don't know. But in regards to that, but just based on what I would say, Asians are probably the most meek and probably well behaved in public. But I definitely think whites are more typically better behaved, particularly in more affluent neighborhoods than Blacks, for sure.
Okay, now I saw the Popeyes box, people. I'm eating chicken and I got a do-rag on, so I had to come dressed for the occasion right here. So I do agree with you on this part here about the Asians. Asians are like, when you see them in public, I'm like, oh my goodness, they're like some robots. And I do agree with you there. Now the thing, I understand, from your side of town, the whites are behaved better. See, we were taught, grandma and them, that especially around white folks, to be on your best behavior when we were little. We didn't want to be able to go into a store and us do something and then the white man kicks us out. Right. So we were always taught to be on best behavior. So in my opinion, since we were taught that, I would feel that me personally, I would think that it would be the other way around as far as just from my opinion, just because of that aspect there. My grandfather was the first Black person in the state of California to have a license to buy and sell guns. So he had a store, and my grandfather was militant. I'm not gonna lie, grandfather was militant.
Well, let me ask you a question. Let's just go with the street. What street, if you drive down, is more likely to have bad behavior on it? Crenshaw Boulevard, or just some random street in a white neighborhood?
Well, to be honest, I'll take a fair comparison from Crenshaw, and then let's say I am in Huntington Beach, I am on Indianapolis, or I am right at the pier. If I am at the pier and I turn down that street where Jax is, I'm in the Skinhead hood. I'm in P-Nice hood right there. Once I get to the pier, it's on. I've been walking on the beach, and just because I walk on the beach in Huntington Beach, I didn't got pressed, I didn't got jumped, I didn't got stabbed in the shoulder. So I know of a white street in a white place where that happens.
Well, let me ask you this. Most of the time when blacks get money, what type of neighborhood do they want to move to? A black neighborhood or a white neighborhood?
Well, that's a fair question. We're not gonna stay in the hood, and we're not gonna stay in the hood simply because of what the hood has become. Now, the hood has become what it is because the white man put in the guns, the drugs, they cause beef, and they make it so that it's fight or flight. And most people are like, well, this is what we got to do. So there's going to be them with that violence. But also, if you're in the white area, the home invasions right there are super high. And white people
it's because you guys try to invade and take our shit. But let me ask you, because you said that the white people are the reasons that black people chimp out in their neighborhoods. You said that it's white people's fault because we put the guns, the money, the drugs, and all of this there. But if we have control over that, and it's also in our neighborhoods, how come white people aren't killing each other over it at the rate that you guys are? How come?
They do. No, they do. You guys do. You guys
per capita. We can pull up murder numbers. We can definitely do that. We can pull up all crime numbers.
All right, let me get it for you.
Have you ever heard a white person ever say, "I can't wait to make it big so I can move into a black neighborhood where it's safe"? More violent attacks with black women? No, 100%. No, it's 100%. You just pulled it up. More violent incidents with black victims involve black offenders than white offenders. You just pulled up your own statistic to prove my point.
No, I brought that up for that. That's not dealing with that's not dealing with the killings and everything, but you got to understand this point when you bring that up. When you talk about the statistics, there are statistics that are not brought up. Just like now, you know about Mr. Bingham with the Brotherhood. Mr. Bingham clearly states that the Brotherhood, they may not have the numbers as the Hispanics or the blacks, but for the size that they are the most violent group in the prison system because they carry it out on the streets also. Those stats are not there. So while he's saying you guys are smaller in population, he's saying the damage and destruction that you guys do is far more greater. So that means that even though you're talking about these stats, you can bring in other things. The police beat, shoot, and kill. Those stats are not put in there for those things. The jailing, and all that stuff. Everything that the white man runs as far as the criminal justice system, that stuff's not put into those stats. If you add that stuff into those stats, you're killing way more numbers and you're doing way more harm to everybody else out there. But those numbers are never brought up because they don't want to bring those in.
But it still doesn't answer the underlying question. If all the numbers are just fudged and they're not right, then why is it that white people or any race of people aren't saying, I can't wait to move into a black neighborhood where it's safe? But they do say that when it comes to a white neighborhood. If all the numbers were just fucked up and false, then why is it that there's no action outside in my neighborhood at all? Nobody's getting hurt. Nobody's getting shot. Nobody's getting raped. But I'm pretty sure, well, I don't know where you live, but I'm just saying, in a predominantly black neighborhood, we wouldn't even be able to host this show because their base would be coming through the fucking wall right now.
All right, so check this out. There are a lot of places where it's predominantly blacks that have a whole lot of money. The blacks have it there. The whites say we don't want to deal with you guys. We want to go ahead and move out. That's your issue. That's your issue. You don't want to be around the blacks, so you want to go out and do it someplace else. But then the blacks say, hey, I like that too. I'm about to go move right there, and I'm going to be the dude knocking on your door. Hey, just moved in next door. We going to move there too. But I do believe that if majority of the whites would like to go ahead and do that, they might have a better experience. Now, JB, I'm going to tell you this. I like talking to you, man. I like talking to you because this is some real shit. We have a common foe out there by the name of J-Rom, and I like people get the information from someone like JB Gunner because you'll get a lot of false prophets and speakers out there. J-Rom said that the Black Panther Party was the reason the Klan started, and he's telling people about black and white politics in America, and he thinks the Klan was started because of the Black Panther Party. So do not go over there and listen to none of that garbage right there, people. Don't go. You got the real stuff right here.
He has consistently been on bullshit for a long time. It's just kind of the way it is. I'm not going to elaborate too much on his bullshit, but anyone that knows, you know, anything going back to even the creation of the Crips and Bloods stemming from the Panthers in '68, you know, anybody that knows their actual history will know that everything he's saying in regards to the Klan or anything is completely fraudulent. You know what I mean? So like, and most things he says is a lie. It's just the truth. Most things he says is a lie. He's been called out for it on this platform for a very long time. It's just one of those things, man. In this type of situation, I don't see why anyone will take anything he says seriously. That's just it.
Yeah, I just had to get that out the way, man. I just had to get that out the way because I heard him trying to drop some knowledge on black and white issues, and I was like, that is far from what we talk about right now. That is far from it. Yeah. So, you know, like these stats though with the numbers, I want to let me bring this up really quick. Let me go ahead and bring this up right now. Let me see. Well, I'm gonna bring this up. Which one do I want to do? Let's do.
Do you know that if you pull up the FBI.gov numbers and you look at per capita, that's per 100,000, blacks lead in every criminal category by a lot. I show it on my page all the time. Literally, if you go to the numbers and you don't go to total, you got to go to per capita because that matters. Right. It's kind of, you know what I mean? Because the sample size is what's going to show you what's the real epidemic. You know what I mean? It's kind of like when I talk about welfare, black people are always like, you know, white people's on welfare, more white people. I'm like, not per capita though. 12% of white people are on it. And we, unlike black people, we disown our losers. But black people put on a pedestal. There are people that are on welfare or they're criminals. How many times have you heard free scene murder, free Lil Boosie? You know what I'm saying? Black people put their degenerates on a pedestal, including their welfare users. Whereas white people, we don't want to be seen with our losers, our welfare users. But once again, going back to that, majority of the people, they'll never actually solve that issue because in their brain, they're just like, volume, there's more white people on it. But if 44% of black homes get some sort of government service, some sort of entitlement, and only 12% of white homes do, but yet white people pay 85% of the taxes. Google it. White people pay all the bills in this country, but 44% of black homes want to live off of us. And so when we bring that up, for some reason, all they come back with is more white people on it. No, yeah, but almost half of your people are on it. And we want to know why and why we should fund you.
Okay, I'll go in right there. All right, now you said there's more of us on it, right? Now remember the promise of 40 acres and a mule. There's a lot of people who are still wanting that back, and they go say, you know, we go get it. But white people you say are paying the bills. No, the 85%. Blacks play the sport. The blacks pay the sports that bring in the money, and their tax money goes in and pays our bills. Pays the bills for America.
If you Google or have your wife Google, or whoever Google, and you Google what race pays the highest tax in America, or just put what percentage of taxes in America does white people pay? The answer is 84%.
Well, you got the Bilderbergs, though. You got the Bilderbergs. You got the Rockefellers. You got all that. That's where all the money is. So, of course, that's going to be there. We ain't got that money. We're trying to fight to get millionaires and some billionaires up there. You guys got all the money up in there tied in with all that other shit. So, of course, the taxes, if you guys have all the money, all the taxes should be coming from your way.
Right, and I agree with that, but the problem is when black people ask for handouts, though, what about us that say no? Because I understand you talk about the 40 acres and the mule. Let me make this clear to you. I didn't promise you that. And most white people that's in here with me, they didn't promise you that, and they're not going to ever give you that. Most of us white people would rather have civil war than give reparations to you because you've never folded a single pair of my drawers. You've never cooked a single egg in my house. You've never enslaved. You've never been enslaved with me, period. I don't owe you shit. I don't owe you shit. And since, once again, you could say, well, the country does. Well, once again, we go back to 85% of the money in this country comes from me. People like me.
No, not people like you. It's slave work. Sports is slave work. Sports is put there to run down time, and it's slave work. That's why everybody has a number and a stat. You're a stat. It's slave work. You're just willing to go do this to be exploited, to go be out there. You know, but it's slavery. It's still slavery. But let me go ahead and throw this. Let me throw this one up there really quick. One quick.
More crimes because of facing higher economic insecurities and limited economic opportunities. This is plausible. Okay, if it is more difficult for a black man or a woman to obtain legal work and income, okay, engaging in illegal activity, robbery, theft, burglary, prostitution, drug violations, for example, becomes a lower cost alternative. However, this explanation simply pushes the analysis one step back. If it is, okay, economic disparity that alters the relative payoff for criminal activity, what are the root causes of economic inequality between blacks and non-blacks? What are the barriers preventing blacks from participating fully in legal work, obtaining higher levels of education, getting higher paying jobs, and rising out of poverty?
This. We got the black and white thing. Check this out. This black and white thing. We got some Mexicans in the house too. Now that right there, as you see, we got to go ahead and what you guys do to us. You take things out and you make it more affordable and available for us to do these things. You take out that. All right, well, let's go ahead and steal this. You don't know what? Let's go ahead and throw these drugs in the there. You can make this much money selling drugs to that person right there. So let's go ahead and do it. But a lot of people don't tell you that the white man is coming down buying the coke. They buying the 8 balls. They doing that, then going right back to their sky rises. Okay, the sky rises. They got Klan people that work as police that do the drug stops, take the drugs and go throw it right back in the street, and you make that happen. So all the arrests happen. If you guys are struggling to make all the arrests happen, and to do that, blacks can't get jobs. You can't get out there to do your work, and you guys are going to say, well, it's not us, but you guys are making it so it's not you guys, and that hurts us all the way around with all the opportunities for unemployment, to getting money, to doing everything. The white man, you got a big part in that.
Let me ask you a question. Do you believe white people should be forced to work and or hire you? Work with you and or hire you?
You're talking about affirmative action?
Well, in a way, but I'm talking about just in general. Do you believe that, for instance, like if I run a company, should I have to hire black people? Or should I have to hire women? Should I have to hire Asians? Do you see what I'm saying? Whatever, like, and I'm just going to give you this one little example, okay? When you go to Hooters, bro, you don't want me being the Hooters girl. You want Hooters to discriminate. You want Hooters to have hot chicks. You don't want JB Gunner walking around being the Hooters girl. So I'm using that as an example because that's an example of where discrimination is a good thing. So I guess what I'm asking is, do you believe that people should be able to discriminate if I want to have an all-white staff and not hire you at all? Do you believe I should be forced to hire you?
That's a good, you know what? That's a really good question because I want you guys to check out Don Maza on Gangland, the head of P9. I was working for Don Maza at Smart Home Energy in Anaheim Hills. People, go ahead and check that up. It is there. Don Maza set up the solar and the energy place. So it was when all of his buddies got out of jail, that was their stop so that they have a job. They got this and that. So 85% of that place were straight up and down skinheads, Nazi lowriders, runes on their arms, 88s on their fists, you know, and I was his top seller. I was his top salesman, right? So I was the only black dude inside of the office with all them skinheads in there walking around. Hey, brother, hey, what's up, brother? But then, you know, I was cool with Alan because Alan was somebody who would confirm my stuff, and me and him will make money together. But Don was like, this dude is good. My boy Corey, who's a skinhead, halfway, he let Don know, and Don was like, yeah, this dude's good. But coincidentally, up in Fresno, Don Mazza has one of our other guys. He's a Long Beach 2020 Crip. Black dude is his dude that runs his Fresno area up there. I asked Don this question. I said, why am I the only black person inside this office? He said, I got to have at least one of you in, but you're the best one I've ever seen.
Right. And so do you think, I guess my question is do you think that's fair? Do you think we should be forced to have someone inside of our property against our wishes, but then why does it stop with you? Why does it only stop with blacks? Like, what's going to happen when they say, well, you have to have one Asian, you have to have one Mexican, you have to have one mixed GLM, you got to have all of these different individuals? Well, you see what I'm saying? It's a slippery slope that never stops. It's so. Do you, because there's a reason I'm saying this, that you just were talking about in terms of unemployment. And if white, basically you're saying, if white people don't include black people and don't give black people things, black people's going to rob and shoot because they have to. Okay, go ahead. No, not that. And that needs to work for all races because America is so much of a melting pot now. It's never it was never supposed to be, just for the record. This country was 90% white when I was born in 1980. Now it's 59% white. Go ahead, though.
All right. Well, true enough, but the Native Americans and the Mexicans were here, so America was not 90% white anything. You know, just to go on that. But it should go for everybody because when you have a business and you got different groups coming in, it's a very smart thing to do to have people that they can relate with inside of that place so that you can actually be a successful business. If there are places where I don't even go into because I don't never see no Mexicans, no red dot Indians, I don't see no Cambodians, I don't see, it's all white. It's all white. It's all white. And there ain't no issue with that if those were the best candidates, but it's been all these years. And I have heard people say that I applied there and they don't never have no work for us or for me.
Right.
Okay. So I feel that it needs to work for everybody, but I do feel that there should be a percentage rule because I do believe that anything has to go on the best person that's qualified for the best jobs. And typically when you say that though, which is why a percentage has to go in there, most whites are going to say, I'm educated, I went to school, I got this and this and that. My dad is a booster here, my mom this and that. I deserve the job. So if there's more white people here, then more white people will take those jobs and won't nobody else work because they're taking all the jobs away.
I hear you.
That's just what I feel.
Well, so you believe that there should be forcing of it, to
a certain extent, because I do believe the best person should get the job.
But what if I don't want to give the best person the job and I just want to give it to my friends?
Well, see, look,
it's my clients, my company.
If you want to start a business and give it all to your friends, if you want to start a business and say, look, all my homies, we about to give all your jobs, we in there. There ain't nothing wrong with that. There ain't nothing wrong with starting up something with your people, and that's what you got. But when you start up a business and it's just you, or let's say one other person, and now you got 100 employees, and out of 100 employees, it's only one black, one Asian, one Mexican, and one Indian, and they all sit together at lunchtime. Now we got an issue there, G.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I feel like, much like in the prison system, there's a reason people flock to their own people. Muhammad Ali, he once did a speech and he was talking about the bluebirds fly with the bluebirds, the red bird, you know what I'm saying? And he was basically, what he was saying is, in no other world is there forced integration, except for some reason, this country when it comes to blacks and whites. Because even he himself, he said no white person in the world should want their daughter to grow up and be with a black man. And no black man in the world should want their daughter to grow up and be with a white man. The reason for that is you breed yourself out. And anyone that has even an increment of pride and their heritage and who they are, they're not going to want to see themselves bred out. You see what I'm saying? That's kind of my perspective on this. So, and going back to the job thing, I wish to only do business with white people. I find black people to be very jive and criminal. It's just the way it is. I think they're always trying to be slick, and it's just not someone I wish to have in my place of business. Me and you are talking over the internet. There's no way in fuck I would have you sitting at the end of this table. No way in fuck. It's just the truth.
I agree. I agree with that. That's what I told you. This is like prison raid right here, y'all. We wouldn't even be in the same room talking to each other if we were right there. But we gotta be able to go ahead and get this stuff out. We gotta go ahead and get this stuff out. Absolutely. I wouldn't be sitting there. I would not be sitting right there with you. But I would tell you this, people. If me and him happen to walk in McDonald's together, there wouldn't be no issue there. Put it again like this: if he is, let's say how he and I are speaking right now, he understands my get down. I understand his. If we were put into a situation to where we had to work together, let's put it like this: we work construction or we work in our house. My man, he know what I am, I know what he is, but we got to work together. We don't talk to each other outside of work or none of that because we know what the get down is. But at work, he gonna respect me because he know I know what the fuck I'm doing, and I got his back here at work. And besides, he gonna say, you know what, y'all, fuck them blacks, but this one black dude at my job got some bomb ass ribs. He's the only one I eat them from. That might happen right there, people, in real life. You don't talk to him outside of work or nothing because that's not who you get along with. It just won't happen. But there's a respect thing there. You guys gotta understand.
I think it's not like I'm out when I'm out and about. I just am staring down every black person I see. I have my certain rules. Like when I go to when I go to a fast food place, I pull around the front of it and I look in there and I have a rule. If there's more than 2 blacks in that fast food place, we're going to a different place. Because I don't want you guys touching my food. I just don't. 48% of black women have genital herpes on their mouth. And then it says,
oh my goodness, man. What the hell? Herpes, man, herpes, that's a code for. White people got code for all over their mouth, man.
It is. Go to the CDC. 48% of black women have genital herpes. It's an actual statistical fact from the CDC. Just Google it. And just Google it. It's all you got to do. Do you need the link? I'll get you the link.
Come on, man. Well, I'm glad y'all got fentanyl then. If you want to throw that stat on, I'm glad y'all got fentanyl.
Yeah, that shit's killing motherfuckers. I don't know why people are doing it. But we don't have herpes. You guys lead the league in STDs. It's a fact.
It's STIs, infections. STIs, they're infections. Nah, I would, you know what, man? You know what? See, there's so many stats and records that aren't put out there because white people don't want the truth to be out there. How you gonna have all the numbers in population but don't have the numbers with all the other stuff? Somebody hiding some shit.
Oh, well, hey, if you think, you obviously don't like black women. That's why you're sitting there with a white bitch. You don't like black women either. You know their mouths are nasty.
First of all, I like black people. My wife ain't a bitch. That's my wife. Get that respect there. And she's Italian, Peruvian, and Mexican.
Oh yeah, she's definitely not white then.
She's Italian. Italians are white. You know Italian.
I'm Italian, so I understand that. But there was some other shit you had mixed in there as well.
Her father's Italian. Lived in Peru. That's where the Peru comes from.
Hey, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So right there. But when it comes down to people, it's not about the race. But I'll tell you this: it's not about the race. Because you're supposed to love whoever you love. But I'll tell you this: once a black person or anyone of color like black gives it to someone, that person's black. So as of right now, you
believe in the one drop rule?
It's the one drop rule because one drop, it all started from us.
Okay, I'm listening. I'm hearing you. Go ahead.
Yeah, it all started from us. So there's still going to be a drop. And if you got that drop, it's a lot of white people that say, well, you are like almost black because your dad is half black and your mom's all white. So you're just a little black. So you're full black. Just like this. Put it like this. The Rock, okay? The Rock is half black, but they use him Samoan. The Rock is half black, but they use that Samoan side. They want that Samoan side to not have the black thing there. But Tiger Woods plays golf because of the Asian part. I don't know. He all the way black, but The Rock not. White people try to confuse and manipulate that shit.
Well, I guess I would ask you, how many white people have you heard having conversations about Tiger Woods or The Rock's race? You know what I mean? You think real white people look at both The Rock and Tiger Woods as not white. And that's good enough. That's all we care about. You're not white. That's what it all. We don't care what type of Negro you are. We don't care what type of minority you are. We just know you're not white. We don't care. You guys are the ones that do all that colorism with each other. You see what I'm saying? Why you guys are the ones that the dark skins hate the light skins and all that weird funky shit. White people don't do that with each other at all. We don't be like, well, the more pale ones of us don't like the more tan. That's not the way it works. You know what I mean? Only you guys do that, not us.
Well, look, man, you guys do a whole lot of other stuff, man. Like you guys put it, you guys put it in. You put it into what it is. All right, so let me play this Malcolm X clip again and tell me how well do you agree with this statement right here, because I think this statement is very true. Check this out.
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate? You should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you?
Okay. Now, you can sit and say, we taught you to dislike each other. But it's still up to you. We're not the ones that forced black women to start putting weaves in their hair so they look like white women. We're not the ones that forced that. But here's the reality. White women are the standard of beauty. People began to notice this. And it's not our fault that other people try to emulate that. It's your community. It's your community's business. It's your priority. It's your job to have self-confidence amongst each other, to make each other feel good. It's not our job to do that. We don't give a fuck if you people have self-confidence or not. And it's not our job to give a fuck. Do you see what I'm saying?
You don't think the beatings, you don't think the beatings, the rapes and all, and the beatings, the rapes and all that other stuff had anything to do with that, to where black women were like, we are nothing and we have to look like them in order to get something, which is why the movie by Alex Haley, Queen was a light skin because her dad was a slave master who raped her mom, and she passed for being white because of how fair her skin was. So they did that so that she can, because they said, we're going to have you be white so you can have a better life. Now, because they do that, that made a whole lot of other people say, well, our skin can't go that color. So what do we got to do? Let's try to straighten out our hair and do these other things to take away who we really are. That came from the mental beatdown and everything from the white person. You can sit up here and say that you cannot forcefully do it, but the mentality aspect, that's exactly what you did, because that's all psychological warfare. Get them to try to not be themselves so we can eradicate them. That was a step.
Is there anything that's actually black people's fault? Is there any flaws with black people that are black people's fault?
Yes, a whole bunch. A whole bunch. I'll name one. I'll name one. I'll name a few right now. When we get mad, don't you talk to me. Why we gotta clap every time we get mad? Why we gotta clap?
Yeah, that's just goofy as shit. But you're right.
No. Why we gotta clap? You know what I'm saying? Why is it that? And I can answer this one. When, let's say, there's a white Karen or something, we go mouth off instantly, extra quick, loud. Now, some people say, why don't you just hold back? Because of all the lynchings, the hangings, the beatings, the getting held back, getting pulled over in your car for no reason, getting handcuffed for no reason, doing all this stuff, going to jail to go on dry runs. People, I don't know if y'all ever been to the county. I've never been to prison, and I'm not a felon. I didn't been to county a few times, but I ain't got no record because it's always been bullshit. They throw it out, the DA ain't got nothing. I would rather go do that little time in jail than pay that little $500 to that bail bondsman, because they just want to take some money from you. That's what they doing. But when I go in, I get right on out because I ain't supposed to be in there anyway. Now, I didn't get into the county. I ain't been to prison. I'm not a felon. The opposite of this, people on this side of the screen, JB Gunner, you all know, Tammy said it also, felon and been to prison. So outside of, someone would say, well, you got a black guy that's not doing what you say, but the white guy is doing what you were supposed to do. What do you get about this situation here? How you've been to prison and you're a felon. I'm not a felon and I've never been to prison.
How do I feel about it? I feel that
as far as how you're speaking about us being more violent and doing crimes and things, you have the criminal history and I don't.
Because what you're doing is you're taking an individual comparison rather than at large general public.
Where there's 1, there's 10. Where there's 100. When there's 100, there's 1,000.
But the numbers would show that. Then that's where statistics come from. It's a counting of numbers. That's where statistics come from. You looking at me and taking me as an example when I am not your typical white guy. This is what you don't understand. I'm not your typical white male. And so the typical white male wasn't raised on the south side of Chicago. The typical white male wasn't raised around and by black people. Typical white male's first wife wasn't black. There's a lot about me that is not your typical white male. Because of my upbringing around nothing but black people, I did more blackish shit. And I believe that's what led to crime and prison. But ultimately, you
did more blackish shit. Did you just say you did more blackish shit?
Yeah, that would be crimes.
You were doing the shit. You were doing the shit. All right. Look, from the Klan to the skinheads and everything. That's lynching. That's larceny. That's everything criminal right there. That's everything criminal. You can't just say you learn to do it from the blacks when the whites were here first. The majority of you guys are doing that stuff. Bootlegging, prohibition, alcohol, all that stuff, breaking crimes, bank robbing, all that stuff came from white people. Bonnie and Clyde and all them. Bonnie and Clyde, Mob Barker and their boys. Those are white people. All this shit just carried on.
White people definitely commit crimes too. But per capita number shows that black people commit way more.
We ain't going to schools and shooting up schools. You guys are going to concerts, shooting up people with ARs. You guys do random race like crazy shit. Someone could be jogging down the street like Aubrey in Georgia.
I'm sorry.
And you guys say, what you doing over here? And you smoke them. That's what white people do. I know.
This is why I ate chicken and spit on his grave too. Because ultimately, let me tell you something about him. That motherfucker was. Yes, that motherfucker ran in a man's house and then ran. And then
you wild for that one, G.
No, you wild. You wild. That motherfucker ran into a white man's house and then ran down the road. Then when he was confronted, he tried to fight. Then he got shot. I saw the whole fucking thing.
All right, look, I'm gonna stop it there. I'm gonna bring up another incident in Mississippi. The Mississippi Hit Squad, not too long ago, 6 officers went to a woman's house and they beat, sodomized the 2 black dudes that were renting rooms out there, and they did it because they were living with a white woman. They sodomized them, made them do sexual acts, and tried to set it up as it was a hit for hire. It backfired, and they all got caught. Those 6 cops did that to 2 black men because they were renting a room from a white woman. That's the shit you guys do.
Yeah, because that's I hope more of those incidents occur, but I'm just saying is that ultimately there are definitely crimes that we commit, but what we don't do is kill each other over.
Those are from cops, man.
Right.
That's from law enforcement. So you want, all right, so your statement is you want law enforcement to kill more innocent black people.
Yes.
See, that way of thinking right there, G, that way of thinking right there. See, that's the problem with America right now.
But
that's
also,
the real problem. You want law enforcement to kill blacks. That makes us not even want to drive down the street or anything else like that.
You shouldn't want to. You should want to get on the boat and take your asses back. I wish our law enforcement and our government would make you actually uncomfortable. But they won't, because they want everything to be fair and equal. I wish they would make you guys feel scared to walk down the street. But they won't. But you asked, so I'm telling you.
You guys first of all killed all the buffalo, so the Native Americans could not have no food and eat and do all what they got to do. All right, but what I'm talking about is this though. If the Mexicans and the Native Americans and the blacks said, all right, let's just do this. Let's just start this race war and let's just go get them. Let's just go get him. That's what you want? You want the purge?
I would be okay with that.
All right, so look at this. Black women are killed 6 times more, likely to be, or more like 6 times more likely to be killed than white women, but 20 times more in Wisconsin. Now, you just said that you wish more of that is going on. Why?
Well, no, I'm not worried about black women. Black women are going to kill them. Black women are going to kill themselves. They're 189.7 pounds on average. White women are 166. Black women's diabetes.
Now, I'm a personal trainer, G. When we talk about weight, I'm a personal trainer degree in that, G. So when we talk about weight and everything, we'll go ahead and break that down. So we talk about, so just know that's my field.
We can go for it all day. Their average weight is 189.7 pounds. And then listen, if you're a personal trainer, there's no way that you can look at them and not know that they're the least healthiest woman on this planet. But that's on you. You asked why they're 6 times more likely to be killed.
You can't make comments like that, G. The white man was giving slops and everything. That's how soul food came. The white man tried to give us slops and everything. But on top of that, you got to understand, you're talking about weight, not body fat percentage. Though.
No. Their BMI, their average BMI is 32.
So no, the BMI does not count. The BMI does not count anything for body fat percentage. That is your basal metabolic indicator there. That has nothing to do with your body fat percentage, because we have endomorphs, mesomorphs, and ectomorphs. Okay, that has nothing to do with anything.
Are black women the fattest women out of all the women on this planet?
No.
Who is that?
Samoans, Tongans. Over there. And if you go to certain parts of India, now there is in Nigeria, there is a population there that they don't like skinny women there. They want large women there in Nigeria. But you would have to go to Tonga, to Samoa, New Zealand. You would have to go all over there to be able to go in and find that, because if you go to the continent of Africa, you will see that is definitely not the case. And the continent of Africa is one of the places where the fat people is just not there. You got to come to white America to start seeing obesity at that rate.
I understand what you're saying. America in general is one of the fattest countries. No question about it. The obesity in America is clearly a problem. But when it comes to women, you asked the question. I stand by my stats that the 189.7 pounds is their average weight. I stand by that. I stand on that. And the question still is, why are they 20 pounds heavier than any other woman in America? So going back to why black women are killed or died, I would also say part of that has to do with the people that they're around. If you hang around Tyrones all day, you're probably going to get murdered. How do I know that? Because 12.4% of this country are you, but you commit 58% of the homicides. 12.4% of this country murder almost 60% of the murders. Well, how's
the
that
white man tries to make that area where black, brown, and everything is mixed. They try to make that as the bad spot, so they create that. They create that so that they can try to say, "Let's fix it" for a political campaign. That's what they do, and they want to do population control. That's what it is. They want to do population control.
If that was the case, if that was the case, wouldn't black men all come together and be like, let's prove the white man what wrong? Let's stop killing each other. Wouldn't they do that just to prove what's wrong?
Well, that's improbable. That's improbable, not impossible. That is improbable because we're humans, and from the beginning of mankind, humans killed each other.
You guys kill each other over blue and red rags. You guys kill each other over your fucking shoes.
Red sash and blue rags and red rags came from white man.
I understand that. In this country,
cowboys killing each other. Cowboys were murdering each other. White dudes robbing banks and killing each other. The white dudes.
Currently, that's not the way it works. Currently, only about 11% of total gangbangers in this country are white.
You're a gangbanger. You're a gangbanger.
Not even close.
You're a gang. All right. All right. Let's clarify this now. All right. Yes. So there's places I cannot go, and I'm not from that set or I'm not from that hood, but some people think I'm there. I grew up around the blue side pretty much all my life, even though I got a lot of the red side too. Tukey Williams used to be at my granny's house. Okay. My uncles was starting it with him. All right. So I'm not a Crip. My older brother a Crip, but go tell that to some other people. They can say I'm a Crip. I'm not. Now, when I go on the inside, if I have to, my gang is the blacks. I gotta ride. It is what it is. Now, I see your tattoo there. You got an AB on you, correct?
What?
Is that an AB on your arm?
No.
I see a B on your arm, though, right?
I don't have any gang shit on me.
All right.
Tattoo.
All right. So by your ideology and how you feel, it's the same ideology as the Klansman, neo-Nazi, which will be classified as gangbangers, or a Hell Angel, which will be a gangbanger, which these organizations get put under RICO acts also, which will make you a gangbanger.
So because I like cheeseburgers and they like cheeseburgers, I'm part of their gang. That's what I want you to think about what you're saying. Because I like something and they like something, that means I'm part of their gang? How does that work?
All right, put it like this. Like the one guy said, he said, I'm not a Klansman, but I am fully involved. Is that you?
No. I'm a grown man that works and spends time with my family all day. I don't understand how grown men hang out with other grown men. I don't hang out with other grown men, nor have I in 20 years. So you're just a solo racist. You're a solo racist. 100%. Yeah, I'm not part
Well,
of
how
any
you
group.
gonna be a solo racist with the same views as all the other ones? You in the same boat.
Here's the thing. My views are my preference. Like, for instance, you need to ask yourself something, okay? Where do you think my views came from? Do you think I was taught them?
I believe that you learn them, and I believe that you learn them, and I do believe that some stints in prison will go ahead and help you out with that too.
Here's the truth: is being around black people is what did it. Actually, I actually get mad when I meet other white people that don't know, have never seen any black people, but yet they think they know anything. All right, let me give you an example. For instance, a lot of white liberals who love black people, they've never met them. They've never seen them. You know how many white people I've met in my life that's never even come across a black person? And I always think to myself, particularly if they act as if they like black people, I'm like, have you ever actually seen one? Hung out with them? Been in their neighborhoods? If you haven't, and you're basing everything based on news and media, then I struggle a little bit with their opinion, right? So what made me a racist was the opposite of what made a lot of them people racist. What made me racist was flat out experience within black neighborhoods, around black people. Because here's how it all works out. When I left that neighborhood, I find it really strange that my life got better. I never got in trouble again. I never got in any shit. I never got stabbed again, never got shot again. It only seemed to have happened when I was involved with that group of people. And then I leave, and now all of a sudden I just make six figures and live a wonderful life. No crime, no
the
nothing.
same way, G. I ain't been stabbed since I don't fuck with Huntington Beach no more. And them skinheads out there.
I mean, and maybe you should feel that way. Remember our first conversation, and you asked me if I was a racist, and I said yes, and I think all people should be. I have no problem at all with black people being pro-black. But notice how people can be pro-black, people can have brown pride, but if a person says white power, fuck that. You guys can be proud to be black and all of that shit, but the minute a person is proud to be white, it becomes a problem.
Let me read this real quick. He said, I would ask Robert Reeves, what is JB wrong about and why? Well, have you been listening? We're going back and look, that answer, look, you could have figured out. We going back and forth, man. We going back and forth. We going back. We going back and forth, you know, so we're going over different things. So you're going to get both points of views there. You can go ahead and take that one down. You're going to get both points of views there. Oh yeah, but thank you again, JB, for being up here. Now check this one out. Now, you know, are you guys the most violent race in America, the whites?
I think we're best at it. Does that make sense?
Best at it. All right.
I think that is why a white person can be a serial killer and get away with it for decades. Because we're efficient killers. We don't shoot sideways and shit. So
well, look at this: 82% of the American serial killers are white.
Right.
15% are black. 2.5% were Hispanic.
Yeah. Well,
thanks.
No, that's a great number. All that said is that the people that got away with killing with people was white. But let me also say that let's bring that number, because if you notice something, you guys are you're only 12.4% of the country. So you guys being 15% of the serial killers is pretty fucked up. You see what I'm saying? You're above average. You're like, if you're only 12.4% of the country, your number on that list shouldn't even been more than 12%, but it was 15.
But your number should be higher, because you just said that getting away with the murders and everything. Whites do far more that they get away with than anybody else, so the numbers are misleading.
Whites do get away with a lot more. It's our country. We get away with a lot more, period. You get away with a lot more in your house than someone else would in your house. It's your house. This country is our house. Always was. Now I admit it's being stolen from us now. True story. But But I'm just in general throughout history, you got to look at it throughout history. And like I said, when I was born, almost 90% of this country was white. So this was our house. And you bring up the Native Americans. No, we conquered them. We defeated them. We destroyed them. That's how it works.
If you come with guns, don't nobody know nothing about a gun. Obviously, you gonna win.
Hey, it doesn't matter how we won. We won. You got to understand, there was a period of time where conquest was a normal thing. You can't look backwards in 2024 standards and be like, no, the conquest was bad. Every group of people attempted conquest. We just were really good at it.
Being really good at it and carrying on out heinous acts. You know, you can't say, well, we had to conquer to like make this place so it's all good. Now, any killing that happens after this is just like, you know, it's all good. It is what it is. But how we're gonna put it out is no matter what, we're gonna make it so the white people are not involved with anything and make it look like that. When on the other side, you guys are behind everything. You guys are behind all of the illegal detentions. Now, even though you got black cops, it's ran by white people. The jails, the prisons, putting people in, making people go crazy to where they want to go do these things. This is what the white man has done, and they've done it all over the world. They've done it all over the world.
Can I ask you something? Oh, so now it's just white people doing it all over the world. Let me here's
no. It's not just whites. Obviously, it's not just whites. Obviously,
honest question. If everybody is so oppressed and the white man keeps fucking y'all up, has anyone considered getting back on the boat? Yeah, everybody has the opportunity now. Has anybody, black, Mexican, of course not Mexican, they're still climbing walls and shit, but have you ever, seriously, as a black person, especially a pro-black person, have you ever considered getting back on the boat and going back to Africa?
To go visit, but not the motherfucking live. If I go back there to live, I gotta go to like a city where I'm kind of used to it here. I'm not about to go hang where the hyena men are. They got real hyenas as they pets. I'm not about to go over there. First of all, the water, the plumbing, all the stuff. I'm not doing that. I'm over here. I'm living here. I'm living here. You brought me here. Generations kick down. I'm gonna live here. But just like the Africans over there don't want us to come because we are a byproduct of what the white man did to us, and they cannot stand us for it.
No, I 100% understand that. They don't want to live with y'all either. That's the point. Nobody wants to live with y'all. Everyone wants to live with us. My question is, from the very beginning of this, my first question was essentially, why does nobody get paid to be like, I can't wait to go to the black neighborhood where it's safe? Because the issue here, your own Africans don't want you motherfuckers.
No, so, white folks don't want to look like they are following a black trend. They don't want to look like that they want to be part of what black people got. They want it to be the other way around. So psychologically, they're not going to do that. They want us to go where they are. They want us to follow them.
No, that's why we gentrify and try to that's why we try to redistrict. You ain't never heard of white flight? White flight exists for a reason.
Gentrification, man. Gentrification is a way for them to try to say, well, we brought up, first of all, this wasn't a hood at first. We turned it into a hood. Now we want to make way more money here and make all these people be left out on the street, and let's throw them in FEMA camps.
Mm-hmm. Say that again? Sorry.
They want to put, look.
They want to put all blacks in FEMA camps? Is that what you're saying?
They want to put us in FEMA camps, man. So they're going to have it be like, so that the gentrification is, we're going to put it here you cannot afford. We're not going to be able to have you live right. You're going to be out on the street in these camps like a whole bunch of other people, and then we're going to put you in FEMA camps. And then there you go. That's all done by the white man too.
That's what I hope so. If what you're describing, I hope what you're describing is accurate. I hope the plan is to put y'all in the FEMA camps. I'm down. I think we should get. Actually,
I don't want to eradicate you white people.
No,
I don't
no,
want to
100%.
eradicate you white
No,
people. You want
no.
to eradicate us. I would
100%.
love for you guys to just understand.
No,
I would love you guys to understand. More black people go get more white girls pregnant. Make more blacks. That's the slogan.
Go ahead. It doesn't bother me none. Here's the no. You said do I wish for eradication? Yes, we should bring whatever the fuck Hitler had. That when he put all the Jews in that goddamn them tanks, we need that shit here. 100%. You're asking me, so I'm telling you. Would I co-sign complete eradication and destruction of the Negro from this planet? The answer is yes.
Now you're saying the Negro. You're talking about black Americans or blacks all over the world.
I'm gonna go with America because that's actually I wouldn't even know about you unless you were here. You see what I'm saying? I mean, I would know just from books, but my point is you wouldn't be a problem to me. I wouldn't care if you guys want to fuck up Africa or wherever. It's just kind of how I look at y'all's neighborhoods now. Just don't move into my neighborhood. You guys want to sit over there and gang bang and do whatever you do, drink 40s, you do it. Just don't bring it into my shit. That's it.
Now check this out. Let's say in your neighborhood, let's say somebody has their garage open. They're black. They're sitting in their garage. They're sitting down drinking some beer, watching sports. They're hanging out with their buddies. One of them say, "Hey, nigga, go to the refrigerator and give me one of them beers." You gonna be upset with that?
Say that again.
If he tells one of his buddies, "Hey, nigga, go ahead and give me one of them beers out the fridge," and they just chill inside the garage, watching football, drinking, having a good time. You don't like that in your neighborhood?
No. Too much cocoa butter odor and probably.
But a white guy, but a white guy can do the exact same thing, and it's okay.
Yes. Because I like white people.
There we go. So, are you a person that will try to make someone move out the neighborhood by doing terrible shit to them?
Yes. Yes, I would.
Okay, so there's
here's the truth, though. Actually, I'd probably just move out the neighborhood myself. You know what I mean? I don't do bad shit to people. So I gotta correct that. Would I am the type of person that would do bad shit to people to get them to move out? No, I would just move out. That's
how many blacks would it take for you to move? How many blacks would it take for you to move out the area?
One.
And what's the area? Like, how many square miles would you say that's too many here?
You know, that's a good question, actually. I've never thought of it like that. I'm willing to say 2 or 3 streets next to me. You see what I'm saying? Or if you've ever seen like a housing addition or a general, like, I think that would be the answer. You know, I think it's a rather small answer. Like, if I go to my Walmart and I'm seeing blacks everywhere, then I need to find a new Walmart, a new neighborhood. Does that make sense? If I'm seeing one or two, like where I lived in Georgia, I'd seen a black person once in a while in the Walmart. But if I ever saw multiple families, and every white person here that thinks like me will tell you what we would think. There goes the neighborhood. Because ultimately, Tommy Sotomayor, I don't know if you know who he is, he used to say, where there's more than three, I will not be. It's a very valid statement. So I would say once I see 3 different ones, maybe 2, in my general vicinity of a few blocks radius, yeah, I'd probably move. Or the minute if I start hearing bass through my fucking house, people just driving around with bass, I know who that is. Anyway, I'm gonna let you talk. I'm gonna listen. I need to step outside for just a second. Is that cool?
Yeah,
I'll listen to you.
Because I want to know about black policemen. I want to know about you and black policemen.
Go ahead.
So you gotta. All right. All right. Yep. So people, when he gets back, it's gonna be, how he lives in an all-white area. What if there's a black cop in his area who has to deal with him? But right now, people, let me make this announcement. The announcement is that I am openly looking for a transgender, fully open. I want to go back from their birth all the way until now to talk about some stuff. I'm looking for a openly feminist who is a sexist who hates men also at the same time. I'm looking for a person that is flamboyant, openly gay, who wants to go out and speak some truths here on Hot Facts. And so that's what I'm looking for. And if you fit any of those three, you can go ahead, let me know. We can set up a show and an interview so we can get down and get to the bottom of this, so we can try to see what the real issues are with trans in America, gays in America, okay, and feminist sexists in America. Outside of that, we're going to be doing a whole lot of other topics like this that people don't want to have because you guys are afraid, okay? So because you guys are afraid, I'm going to be doing that. So if you guys would like to, there you go. Now, also, if there is another white person out there who would like to click the link and hop on up, you can click the link because you may feel a little bit different than what he is saying, or you may agree with. And one more black person, if you would like to say something, I'm going to go ahead and do it like this. I'm going to post up that link one more time. Emilia will highlight it once I put it up, so you guys can know that it's there. And then we'll go straight from there. I think JB is getting right back. Let me see this real quick. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me see this real quick. Where is that? Where is this?
There's plenty of people outside of YouTube that agree with me. His comments way off. To believe that there's only racists on YouTube is a weird statement.
That's a weird statement. That's weird as hell.
Yeah. I would say there's probably less racists on YouTube because it's technically ballsy to say, most people don't want to get kicked off of YouTube. You see what I'm saying? Right. I've been through that. So most people will try to dodge the topic of race. That's why you yourself said you've been looking for someone that would have the discussion because nobody else typically will.
Yeah, and it's crazy because as they see how me and you are actually doing this, they should be able to see people. People were saying, you guys are going to get demonetized and you're going to get demonetized and it's going to be too much people. If you're a grown person and you can articulate yourself, you're not going to get demonetized or that's not going to happen. I gave a disclaimer, a warning all before it happened. I followed all the rules you're supposed to do because this is here for educational purposes to bring some enlightenment to the people out there. So quit being scary ass busters. Now JB is back, and I want to ask you this: you in an all-white area, what do you feel about a black officer patrolling you in your area if that's happened? Should he be a cop in your area?
I don't think black people, due to their IQ, should be any cops. If you look at numbers, the average black IQ is 78. I believe the number that leads into retardation is 62. So you're only like 15 points higher on average. I believe
white people do incest. You guys sleep with your cousins. You guys got inbred. You guys keep the money in the family. You guys should have way more higher rates of mentally R-worded out and things like that. You guys sleep with each other.
Our IQs are 102 on average. Your guys are 78. Now I believe you have a higher IQ than 78, but on average, you can Google this shit as well. The average black IQ worldwide is 78. The average white IQ is 102. Asians kick us all of our asses. But the reality is that no, I don't think you guys should be in any role of authority. And actually, I think it's stupid for white people to allow it. And here's why. What if black people want payback? You see what I'm saying? Like, I think white people, and especially liberal whites who are giving too much powers over to black people, it's very foolish because we've done some hideous things to black people. So to allow black people to have any power in any way, where if they wake up one day and decide they want revenge, it's a dumb thing to do. I don't.
That's how far you are. You think it's not. See, people are smarter than that, man. We go to school to get educated so we can do it the right way. Ain't no one gonna try to do a coup. We ain't gonna try to do a coup and overtake the government, how they be doing in the Middle East all the time.
Well, I don't think you would, because once again, we still pay 85% of the bills. When you're freeloading, typically, not you, but in general, you're not going to kick out the guy paying the bills. That's dumb. But it does not mean that if you had enough power that you wouldn't do small little things as actions of revenge. Maybe not you, but in general, I think if the black community had power, which they don't, thank God, if they had power, I believe easily, and there's plenty of blacks who said it. If we were ever in power, we would enslave you. Payback's a bitch. And I do believe that I think in general, as a culture, you would seek out.
Is this the reason why Americans don't want to help blacks and Hispanics start businesses? You don't want us because they took down our Black Wall Street. They burned our own Black Wall Street down because they were afraid about what we were going to do. They did that in the Bay Area, in Oakland. They did that to us here too. So is that why you don't want us to have a business? You don't want black business in America because of how the enterprise is. The only black business you guys want is us being rappers or sports players and start it that way. Why don't you guys want us to have a business so that we can go ahead and do a whole lot more? What's the issue with that one?
I personally would like you guys to have businesses and stay the fuck out of ours. However, we're not going to help you do it. We didn't get any help. We did it ourselves. It goes back to the pull yourself up by your bootstraps mentality. You can start your own businesses, start your own whatever. At the end of the day, though, don't ask me to fund it. Don't ask me to help you do it. You do it.
That's why you just said that. Listen to this right here. Listen to this. Okay.
Another potential barrier to economic opportunity is access to credit. Starting a business requires capital and resources. Limited access to funding can hinder black entrepreneurs from establishing successful ventures. Black business owners make up only 4.3% of total business owners in the country. Okay. Blacks on average have lower credit scores compared to whites, 677 versus 734 respectively, and are less likely to use conventional financial institutions. Okay?
Absolutely. I'm not surprised at all your credit scores are lower. I figured it would be way lower than that on average. But yeah, at the end of the day, whose fault is the credit score?
All right. That's a good question right there, because of what I just put up. And people, I want you guys to know, look, this is what I do. My pride and joy on my channel is my interviews and me doing news. I put a lot of effort into what I do, people. You see, I got clips. You see, I got me reading and stuff. I got my stats. I don't get up here to play around, y'all. I'm just letting y'all know. But that's a good question there, because the credit scores are lower is because of the opportunities, and then the raising of the inflation, the raising of this, not being able to go ahead and get that, it puts it so that the scores are gonna go lower. Mm-hmm. It puts it like that. So it's put in a way so the white man is always gonna be on top. That's how it is.
Do you know what causes inflation?
Man, there's people. There's things going on around the world, and trades and tariffs and everything that cause inflation, man. There's a whole lot that can go into it. It's not just one thing.
There is a lot of things, but I will tell you one of the major things that leads to inflation. It is the overprinting and spending of our fiat currency. So when we are, which in case you don't know, I'm against all foreign aid. I don't think we should fund Israel, Ukraine, none of these motherfuckers.
Okay.
Whenever we fund any of these people, including local and state and federal entitlement programs such as welfare, any of this that's causing more spending, it's what's going to lead to inflation. Liberal policies. I'll give you an example. Okay, your cost of living in California is going to be way higher than mine. And there's a couple reasons for that. Your tax rate is through the roof because it's a liberal policy. Out here, we don't have state taxes either. Or I want you to understand, I currently make about 100 grand. 100 grand in California, I would struggle tremendously. 100 grand out here in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, any of these, you can live like a king for the most part. It's starting to change because inflation is going through the roof. But when you keep upping taxes because you want to give out another entitlement program, you want Obamacare to exist, you want to give welfare to all these fucking losers, you want to consistently give away our money to Ukraine or the Jews, you want to consistently just give away our money rather than reinvest it in things that actually could drive prices down, like actual businesses like you were just talking about. The reason that this inflation happens, when you say, I want our McDonald's workers to make $15 an hour, that's why your Big Mac meals are $20 now almost.
Yeah, that's crazy. $20 for a Big Mac meal is crazy. I ain't gonna lie. That's crazy.
Well, the reason for that is because you motherfuckers were running around talking about we want a minimum wage increase.
That's not what it is. It's these motherfuckers giving all this money away to these motherfuckers overseas. Every time something go down, they got to go ahead and pass on something. Yeah, we're gonna give away $50 billion and shit like that. That's where the shit's going into, which brings up this question here: how important is it to have the Black and Hispanic vote for the political candidate? Now I talked about David Duke and Al Sharpton, because one would say one's militant and one David Duke is a racist, for them to get their political party going. But we're talking about businesses, money, opportunities. If there's a lot of white people that feel the way you feel in office running this country, so how important is it for them to get our vote? And are they really just lying to them just so that they can get their vote?
Democrats have been lying for your vote. 92% in the last election, Black people voted for Democrats. And let me explain this to you. Democrats, what they'll do is every 4 years, they will come out and lie to you. They'll come out and they'll try to say the Republicans are racist, vote for us, we're the ones that really care about you, even though they're the fucking people that actually started the Ku Klux Klan. The Democrats are the ones that think that you as Black people are too dumb to have, or poor to have identification cards. You understand, they're right now currently saying, and they've been saying this for years, that to ask for someone to have an ID to vote is a racist thing. Because and their explanation is, well, not all Black people live by or can get to license bureaus. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I don't know any Black dude that can't get an ID unless he's got a warrant or some shit. You know what I mean? But this is the type of shit that the Democrats will do. They already pander to you. So for us on the right side of things, Donald Trump currently has more African-American votes than any Republican president in history. Same thing with the Hispanic vote. But the guy that everybody says is the most racist motherfucker has the most minority votes in the history of this country.
That's because of money. That's because of money. He's teaching people how to lie, cheat, and steal like Eddie Guerrero, and you go ahead and get your money. I'm gonna keep it way real. That's why a lot of them voted, because they like, man, we can go ahead and get that money. Go ahead and get that money. They ain't voting for him for no other reason.
Right, that's what you should vote for presidents for. You should vote for the president that improves your life. That is so if there's a president that makes money easier to obtain for you, that's the president you should vote for. Who cares if Donald Trump sends mean tweets or if you think he's racist? Who gives a shit? If he increases your revenue and cuts down your spending and makes your economy better, isn't that what you should want?
Yeah, but he sends people to storm Capitol buildings.
He didn't send anybody. There's not a single
incited that, man.
Say what?
He incited that, man. He incited that. It was just some idiots that really took his word serious, but he still incited it.
How so? He didn't say to go in that Capitol at all.
Man, he said some shit and they went and did that shit. They went and did that shit. And they win. He said, go. He told them go. He told them let's take back America. Go. He told them all that.
Yeah, of course. But he means politically. He didn't tell them to storm the Capitol.
That's the back door. That's the back door right there. That's the back door. It was politically.
Well, here's the thing. I am a Trump supporter, and I didn't storm the Capitol, nor did my friends who were there on that day. There's plenty of people that didn't storm the Capitol. The idiots that went in there and stormed the Capitol, those were the idiots. But majority, and I would have never stormed the Capitol because I would have already known that this little group of people storming a Capitol isn't the insurrection that they claimed it is, nor that we would want. That's not how that's not how you take over the government. That's not how you take over this country. So I already know that going in there with a bunch of grannies and shit walking around with their little U.S. flags and shit, I already know that's not what an insurrection is. That's not taking over the country. But for everybody else, they want to make it to where, well, that this was an insurrection attempt. No, there was no guns. There was no weapons. Yeah, how are you going to have a fucking insurrection with no weapons? Serious question. How are you going to have an insurrection with not a single gun?
I got you there. Now, let me go ahead and do, let me go ahead and do this one right here. I'm going to do this one right here. You know what? I'm going to go split it off here. Now, I got to add I got to add a little bit of humor inside on this too. And for those of you who are watching, I thank you guys for tuning in and watching this. A lot of you guys said this was going to go all the way left. You guys are not going to be able to get past like 5-6 minutes of anything. Complete false and lies, people. All you guys that said that stuff, shame on you guys, because you guys are seeing it happen. We're going back and forth, and it's respectful. So
they said the same thing last time. They said the same thing last time.
Same exact thing. And we up here. Now I'm about to bring in some humor right now because this is coming up. Are you betting on black Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul? We got Tyson as the black dude at 60. Your white guy is right there. You going for Paul or are you going for Mike Tyson? Who are you betting on black?
Because I'm publicly right now, I'm going to say no. In reality, you just asked me would I pick Mike Tyson or a YouTuber?
Hey, I'm just saying. Hey, when you stick to your race all the way down, when you stick to your race all the way, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
But you're okay. If you're asking me who I'm rooting for, Jake Paul. If you're asking me who I think is going to win, between someone who is regularly referred to as the baddest man on the planet, and then you got somebody that used to work for Disney, clearly, if I'm just going with just straight boxing, I'm going to pick Tyson. I want Jake Paul to get it because you have to admit, if Jake Paul lays Tyson out, one of the greatest moments like your whole black people will together sigh like a motherfucker, like, oh my God, the Disney kid just knocked us the fuck out.
Even though Mike is 60, y'all, even though Mike is 60, he ain't lying. Even though Mike is 60 years old, he's not lying. We gonna be real upset.
Yeah.
That's our
payback for OJ, motherfucker.
Oh man, I hope Mike Tyson has a flashback and he get a fast twitch. He remember one of them custom model numbers and then boom, he get him out of there. I would like to see how it was back in the day. You pay that $50 and before everybody even come, the fight's over. I hope it happens like that. And Mike still got that juice in him.
I've been watching
this out, people.
I've been watching Mike spar. Mike still got it. So
yeah.
You know what I mean? He's still a bad man. So I hope Jake Paul wins for my people, but in reality, it's fucking Mike Tyson, man. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna I'm not going to bet on someone to beat Jordan on the court. You see what I'm saying? I'm not going to bet. There's just certain shit I'm not going to bet on, bet against. And, you know.
Smart man, people. Hey, you got to understand, people. Even though we in our own races and stuff, when it comes down to the get down, you got to be smart. You got to be smart, people. So but he broke it down right, because I was hoping he was going to say, who am I rooting for? And he got there and said that, but in reality, he already went there. So that's that there. People, those are all the questions I got from here. JB Gunner, man, I want to say thank you for stopping by. I have fun doing this, man. Let me know what you felt about this one.
I thought this one was good, man. I think we pretty much touched on anything I would have touched on if I was leading the discussion, and even the things you didn't have listed that I still wanted to discuss, we got to anyway. I thought it was a good combo, and I appreciated having these conversations, because you got to remember, a lot of times it's just me talking into a camera. So having these discussions is just with other people that don't get all butthurt and shit. You know what I mean? Like me and you can discuss this shit and not be, it doesn't, like, you're going to get off here and go enjoy your day. I'm going to get off here and go enjoy my day. But there's too many, most of these people that's eternally on the internet, they stay triggered so goddamn much. Like their whole life is wrecked by one YouTuber's comments. It's fucking wild. You see what I'm saying? But no, I thought this was great, man. I appreciated being here.
Yeah, people, we did this, and a lot of you guys, like I said, said it was gonna fail. And there's people that were in here in the chats that have left out, because I told you guys this is freedom of speech, freedom of press here. I let people talk in the chats and say what they have to say. I wasn't in the chats, but I'm pretty sure some people were saying some stuff. They were saying some stuff, and some people did get offended and they did leave. But people, life is not easy. Conversations and discussions are not easy. And some people just don't like to hear the real stuff, but we got to talk about these things. And thank you guys for stopping by. JB Gunner, let them know where they can find you at in case somebody wants to hear some more about you.
I got a shitload of channels, but just JB Gunner TV, JB Gunner Show, Crime Time with JB Gunner. I got a million channels, just JB Gunner.
JB Gunner, people. Yeah. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
And for that comment right there, it's not freedom of speech. It's hate speech is covered by freedom of speech. It's the truth. And I want to make this clear, because I know that's Eli. I just want to make this clear. No, it is. That's Dick. His name is Dick, and Eli's the one that continuously says hate speech isn't free speech. Yes, it is, because what I hate may not be the same thing that you hate. Do you see what I'm saying? What I hate is so you may completely hate something different than me, but I think we both have the right to speak on it. And right now they're currently, and I want to get your opinion on this. Currently, Congress is trying to push a law where if you say anything bad about the Jews, it actually is a crime. And I'm like, if I was a black dude and I heard this, I'd be like, what the fuck is going on? So they could say nigga all day long, but if they say kike or Jew, or all of a sudden now hate speech is a crime, I wanted to get your opinion on that. What if they do that?
They got to stop that. They can't do that. They can't do that at all, because it's like they can't. That's gonna start some drama in itself. That's gonna start some shit all up in its own. So they cannot. Damn, Mama Goonie, damn Eli, they busted you. Busted you.
Yeah. He thinks I didn't know. I know the way he talks. I know his verbiage.
Yeah, that should not be in. And that should not be in. People don't vote for that, because I'm telling you, once that's in, we're not gonna be able to say, like, it's like we'll see shrubs. We won't be able to say the bushes. We won't be able to say bush anymore and stuff like that. People, we can't be letting all this stuff happen. I don't like that at all. We don't need that. We got to go ahead and throw that away in the dumpster. That's some bullshit right there. Because like you said, I got an issue with it.
Yeah.
I got a supreme issue with it. So if y'all ain't gonna do nothing for us, and then take that back. Whatever words is used for Native Americans,
right?
Y'all have to do it for everybody. You just can't like everybody. So,
Exactly.
Yeah, that's stupid.
No, that's exactly right. And so, no, our First Amendment should protect all of our speech, unless you're threatening to hurt someone or threatening to commit a crime, something like that. And even that, I think, should be allowed. You know, and I think anything that you say, you could sit here and say cracker a million times. I'm never going to think you need to go to jail for it. Do you see what I'm saying? If you could, you're like, you fat motherfucker, this and that. I'm not going to ever, even if you're saying it hateful as fuck, I'm never going to think that you should go to jail for it. You know what I mean? But I do want to say thank you to not just you, but I want to give a shout out to Louis and Lombard in the audience who was tipping me throughout this entire thing. I appreciate them as well. And I appreciate you, bro. And maybe we can do this again sometime.
Yeah. People, I had fun. It was a good thing. To Pedro DoorDash Santiago, Mr. 79,000 subs. You said that we should not be platforming racist. Robert is gonna get what he deserves. Whoever watches it unsub to my channel. He said all this stuff and everything. All you guys that talk that crap, look at how it turned out again. And for Dennis Jerome Jr., look at how it turned out again. Now check this out, Dennis. A lot of the stats that you go against us black folks are about us killing each other are the same stats that this gentleman just said. You could have clicked the link and you would have been like, dang, we agree on a lot of shit. You didn't want to feel that way at all.
No, let me tell you something.
Stop sending that girl to handle your business and then making you sound like a punk writing stuff to me that don't make no sense when you could have talked to this man yourself. I don't do nobody else's dirty work.
No, you should be
do
happy.
Your own dirty work.
You should be happy, brother. I shook him into being pro-black because I went back and I looked. Prior to me saying something about him, I know he has a lot of the same opinions as me. But then after I said something to his girl or whatever on my shit, all of a sudden he became a victim, and now all of a sudden he's talking to you like we're brothers. What about us black folks? But before that, he wasn't doing that. I done shook his ass into being pro-black. You're welcome.
Yeah, and people they were telling me, how are you on JB Gun Insider about Dennis? I'm gonna break it down just like this, people. If we were in jail and something happened with the other dude, right, and you know, you come to the rep, you tell the rep, man, I got to get down with him. I go talk to their rep and be like, look, this happened. They gonna go ahead and get down. We gonna set it up. If your ass is over there talking about, yeah, I'm good now, you don't want to get that demo back, I gotta damage you myself because you making us all look bad by you not getting up here or even being a man to even state something and just instead of just texting and writing, you made us look bad as black men, like we cannot have a conversation, which is what made this more important for me to show people that we are not all like Dennis.
And you know what I think? You know what I think they think? I think they think that I'm just going to sit here, me and my audience and my people out here, just saying the N-word over and over. Is that what they think? You know what I'm saying? Like when they picture, or that I'm just going to sit here and insult you all day. You've never insulted me. I have no reason to insult you. But I think in their mind, that's how they vision it. That the whole stream is just going to be the N-word all day, knowing that it couldn't be just the N-word all day. They don't think that shit through. But I appreciate you, bro. I'll see you next time.
Yeah, yes, sir. For those of you watching, we got Amelia here. Hand is here. We're gonna be out here like Chuck Woolery in 2 and 2. Now, this is very important because Amelia says, be kind to each other because that's the best standard we should go by. That's what my wife says, and we end our show like that. We out of here like Chuck Woolery in 2 and 2. See y'all later. Peace out. You got anything to say to him? Deuces.
Later on, man. I appreciate it.